This is one of the last surviving copies of Black Herman's Magic, Mystery, and Legerdemain. And yes, I was able to get my hands on a first edition copy. And yes, this is truly one of the last surviving copies. Everybody, it is me, Papa Seer, host, narrator, storyteller of the critically acclaimed Hoodoo and Chill podcast, streaming on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. I came on here really quickly just to do a really quick video for you guys because I know I have been saying for a while that we're going to do the documentary on Black Herman. Benjamin Rucker is his real name, and I know it has taken me a while to get this out. And so I wanted to put this video out today, just kind of talk to you guys with, just update you on the process, where I'm at with this, why it's taking me so long. So thank you for your patience. Well, first and foremost, I want to just enhance my content a little bit. I really am trying to make this channel a staple for the Hoodoo community and just produce evergreen content that it doesn't matter what generation, you can always come watch one of these videos to learn something. And I really wanted to do something different with Black Herman because this has probably been one of my most requested videos, one of my most requested documentaries or short docs, whatever you want to call them. And so I really want to do this man justice. And a lot of you all have become acquainted with him through this book right here or this card deck, the Hoodoo Tarot. No, I'm not here to promote the Hoodoo Tarot. I just kind of want to focus on the book. I think the book with the deck is really good. And a lot of you all were introduced to this man here, Black Herman, from this book. And that's why I think that this, the book with the card deck is really, really good because it put out information to the masses about people that a lot of you never heard of. And a lot of people have not heard of Black Herman, but they have because he is mentioned and he's one of the major arcana on the Hoodoo Tarot. Now that's enough free promo for you. However, his story is extremely deep. It's vast, it's inspiring, it's filled with a lot of mystery, intrigue, and even some controversies. So what I'm more than likely going to have to do is I'm going to have to put this out in like two different parts. I think I'm going to do a part one where we just focus solely on his life and his life story. And then the part two will probably be more mystery driven about this piece of printed material right here, which I really don't want to go too much into detail about today. Please just wait until I release the video about that. But there's a lot of controversy surrounding this book. And before I put out any content on it, I want to make sure that I have all of my facts checked, all of my T's crossed, all of my I's dotted. But what can I say about this just to kind of give you all a cliffhanger about what's going on with this book and why it is so controversial? To me, this is one of the greatest pieces of Black American literature that still survives today. This book was printed in 1938. And what's crazy is the theory or the mystery is that this is not even the first copy, that this information has been circulating since 1925. But this particular copy is so special. And I spent a long time, I'm still in conversation with the person who sold me this book because they're history preservationists like myself. But the cover is really, truly what sticks out to me. This is a mass produced publication from 1938 where segregation, Jim Crow is extremely high. We're not even 100 years out of slavery. During this time, there still would have been descendants or people who might have worked on plantations might have still been alive. And then there's a book with this Black man on the cover of it. That is phenomenal. So obviously, this man was extremely hypnotic. He was a very important man. He was a wealthy man. And legend has it that he was from, of course, Virginia and relocated to Harlem during the Harlem Renaissance. He employed Black people. I mean, his story is so amazing. I really can't wait to tell it. But there's a lot of controversy there. And all I can say is go do your own research and then come watch Papa Seer's video, or wait till my video comes out and then fact check me on my video. I'm always pushing you all to do your own research. I am not the all powerful seer. I am one historian of many who is passionate about putting this type of content out. But more so, you all, if I can just say this, I am eternally grateful for this man's spirit, because, you know, just a little story about this book. I had been looking for it and I found a copy of it, and it was like literally the only first edition that I could find online. And I had been staring at it for like a year, and I said, well, you know what, when I have the extra funds to purchase it and, you know, put it into my possession, I'll do so. And just so happened a year later, it's still available and it came home to me. And the person who curated the book, really good person, and just a wealth of knowledge. I have really enjoyed spending some time just picking her brain to figure out more behind this man's story and the publications and things of that nature. The controversies that I want to just speak on lightly but not give too much information is that, you know, we really have to respect our ancestors. We really have to just do a better job at just respecting Black people, Black men, Black intellectuals, right? And for those of you that consume my content, I consider you a Black intellectual if you are Black. But you know, I consider you an intellectual, because a lot of my content, whereas yes, it can very much entertain you, it is still from a academia intellectual standpoint, because I just truly believe in Black intellectualism. I do. And I believe that it's cool to be smart, and it should be it should be in our nature to want to be educated. And it really just breaks my heart how many of our legacies have been exploited, are still being exploited. Those of us that allow ourselves to become caricatures, for profit, people who will sell the image of African or Black American spirituality into Hollywood, and allow Hollywood to label you as a witch or a warlock. And none of that is in the language of our spiritual culture. If anything, we have many, you know, rituals and ways to protect ourselves against witchcraft. And I'm just, so this isn't a jab at the Wicca community or the witchcraft community or nothing like that, because, you know, your way is your way. But I just wanted to just throw that out there, that like, even now there are some who sell their image and take this and what we do and allow ourselves to be made into a caricature. I don't believe that this man was doing that to himself. I don't. I do believe he did certain things for profit, because as I have said to you all before, that this is a business where you really don't receive your true value or your true worth. You know, you get a fraction of what you really put out. What you get back is a fraction of that. And so, yes, I do believe he did some things for profit, because he had to live, he had to pay bills, he had to eat, he had to take care of the people that were working for him. You know, I do certain things for profit. Obviously, my card deck, my book, you know, just certain things we have to make money. But I will never allow myself to, or sell my image to let someone make a caricature out of me. And I don't think that he did that. I think that when he died, the powers that be kind of turned him into a caricature. And so my goal when I finally do put his information out is to tell the story at its fullest richness, and really just embrace his life story. And if I can leave you all with anything before I go, is, you know, when you all do your research, and you even whether it's on your family or any on these individuals, stop looking for the hoodoo. Because if you go looking for the hoodoo, you're not going to find it. If anything, you're going to find frustration. Look for just who these people were. their life stories, their jobs, the most mundane things actually open the doors to their spiritual path. But if you just go seeking, oh, I want to learn about you because you were Hoodoo adjacent, that's not always the best way. You should want to learn about these people because you want to learn about these people. Who were they? What did they do? And not just look at it from a Hoodoo perspective. This is Black history. And what I hate about what they have done to our community is that there's Black history and there's Hoodoo history. No, it's Black history because Hoodooism is 100% and exclusively Black. And I don't care who feels differently about that. I'm going to say it again. Hoodooism is 100% exclusively Black American. So when you talk about this, there is no way that you can talk about the history of Hoodooism and then isolate it from Black history. Why is this not talked about more in Black history? This is a Black man on the cover of a book, regardless of his books, or excuse me, regardless of his beliefs or what his practices may have been. It's a Black man, his face on the cover of a book in 1938 in New York. Wow. It was being mass produced and published. This book sold for $6 during that time, which is almost $150. Okay. How many of you today would spend $150 on a book? Well, according to statistics, people don't read anymore. So, you know, how many of you would spend $50 on a book, right? So this obviously was a man that was valued not just for his stage presence, but the things that he knew. And I put this information out because I just feel like we really have to change our perspectives when it comes to these people, because even us as Black people, we can make the mistake and make a caricature out of these people. And when you talk about them, you need to try to find out as much information as you can, the good, the bad, the ugly, what was the notoriety surrounding them, but then also what were the just simple mundane things, his brothers, his sisters, the food he liked to eat, if you could even find that information. Trust me, in the grand scheme of things, it all makes for a much better story. So again, I didn't want to spend too much time on this today. I just wanted to update you all as to where I am with the video. Yes, it is coming. You all have to give me some time. Thank you so much for your patience, because when you do documentaries, when you do anything like this, especially on this platform, you have to do it right. You have to do it right, because people are going to they're going to comb through this information with a fine-tooth comb. And any little mishap or any little blip, people are going to call it out. And so I am really, really adamant on, before I put out anything to this community, because I understand the caliber of my podcast, I want to make sure that it's right. So you all be patient with me. The information is coming. And even if you want to take a look inside of this book, it is available online. There are some digital copies in libraries. I know for a fact the New York Digital Library has a copy that you can look at with beautiful pictures of him. I mean, it's just so much in this book that is just so beautiful. And I can't wait to do my podcast on it and really open up and show you all just the beautiful pictures in here. Just even, you know, I don't want to touch this book too much because it's old and I really should have on gloves, but just, you know, my hands are clean. There are no oils on my hands. I washed my hands before touching this, but it's just a really beautiful book. So with that being said, you all, I'm going to sign off here. You all have a beautiful, amazing day, and I will see you in the next video.